Morning, guys. Hey, it's Len from Mercury Man Garage and Outdoors. I don't know if you've noticed, but I recently changed the name to Mercury Man Garage and Outdoors, since it's kind of evolving into more of an outdoor channel as well as garage channel, kind of trying to expand my horizons, I guess you'd say, and reach more viewers. But let me know what you think. But today we're gonna go indoors. Today we're gonna be in the garage, and we're gonna be talking about bundle firewood. I know I touched on this before on some other videos, and I'm gonna delve into the machines a little more and ways that I see maybe some improvements can be made on some of these bundlers. First thing on the list is to get a nice fire going. I'd say that'll do the trick. All right, guys, well, we got the fire going, and let's see here. It's already up over 300 degrees, so it's putting out some nice heat. And I'm telling you, these 2x4s work really good for kindling. I got a bunch of 2x4s left over from a project that we did over the summer, and I just split them up with a hatchet, stick them in that bucket, and those things work really good for kindling. You can basically start them with a match. That's how nice they are. But just walking around in the garage here, you guys can see it's quite a mess. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I need to get finished on some of them. I got the bumper project on the F-250. I got my bundle firewood station in here now, which is what we're going to talk about today. I got my doors, working on those. And if you guys have been following along on the Cyclone, I started a headliner project many moons ago, and it has evolved into another project and another project and another project. And, well, that's how it is with classic cars. That's the way it goes. But today we're going to focus on the bundle firewood operation that I have, and we're going to talk about different bundlers and ways that I see maybe they can be improved upon. I mean, basically the bundlers, they basically do the same function. I mean, you put the wood in here in the basket, and you either turn it by hand, the crank, the stretch wrap, or you have a motorized one that does it for you. It's basically the same thing. But as you know, and I'm not going to get into prices too much here, but everyone knows that these motorized ones, the gas, electric, those are pretty pricey. Basically, these do the same. This is the Amish bundler, by the way. And I've done a video or two on my Amish bundler, and it does the same thing as a motorized one. It's just manual. That's all it is. And I'm not knocking the motorized ones at all, because those things are really, really nice. And they may be a little faster, maybe a little easier, but they still do the same thing. And I want to touch on ways that I see that maybe these can be improved upon. So stay tuned. Just something quick here, guys, before we get started. I was out cutting firewood the other day, and while I was trying to fold my ear protection back like this one is, on my steel helmet, it snapped right off. And I thought at first that it just popped out of it like a socket or something, but it broke. And I don't know if there's replacement parts for these. I mean, this thing wasn't cheap. It's close to $100 for this thing, and I've only had it maybe a year. So I don't know, what do you guys do when you have something like this, and what do you use? You guys just use the regular earplugs and safety goggles, or something like this? I want to get another helmet like this. I really do like it, and just kind of not happy about how that just broke right off. I feel that steel should be doing a better job than something like that. But let me know what you guys have. All right, guys, I almost forgot. I got one more bundler that I want to touch on, and it's this bucket style or can style bundler. And Wolf Ridge puts one out, and I'm sure there's other manufacturers that have them as well, but the reason I'm pointing out this bucket right here is it's kind of similar to this in design. It's a bucket style that's on kind of a swivel. So you put your bundle wood in the bucket like so, and this is just my kindling, but you put your bundle firewood in there, and then you put a mesh bag over the top. And then you tie it off, flip it over. It's on like a hinge. You just flip the bucket right over, and the wood goes right into the bag, and you tie it off. Really simple, really nice design. And I came really close to purchasing one of those. I like the alternative way of doing it. I think it's a great design. The only thing is you got to continuously buy those bags. And I don't see that as a big deal, but that's just something else that you have to keep an eye on and purchase. And it's just another way of doing it. But I just wanted to touch on that one. We're going to be focusing on this style bundler today, and the way I see maybe some improvements can be made. But that's just another option too, is the bucket style. All right, guys, well, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, and hopefully you can hear me. I'll try to speak up as loud as I can because I still don't have a microphone. And that's another thing, you guys, leave in the comments what you guys have for microphones, the wireless style that you just tie on your shirt or your hat, because I got to get something like that. If I'm going to be doing these videos, I'm going to need a wireless microphone. And also, what kind of cameras do you guys use? Right now I'm just using my iPhone, and the picture quality is not great, and I want to get a camera so to get some better picture quality and sound quality for you guys. But anyway, you guys know these bundlers and how they work. This is my Amish made bundler. Purchased it for $800, and I don't know if you guys know, but that's one of the cheaper ones out there. Believe it or not, that's one of the cheaper ones, if not the cheapest one. Basically, it's the same kind of idea. You know, you just take your bundle wood and you stack it in the basket like so, and do your best to get it to fit so you can get, you know, a good amount of wood in there. This is what you want. And a nice tight bundle. You gotta make sure the bundle, all the gaps are kind of filled. You know, they don't have to be perfect. But in my wood, I've mentioned this before in videos, my firewood is not perfect. And you know, I got maple here, and I got oak, and I got cherry. That's my main three. And I know there's guys out there that are very adamant about really nice looking bundle firewood, and I get that. I get that. I wish mine did look like that, but it don't. What I get is not the best quality wood, I guess you'd say, but I do my best to make sure that it's seasoned and dry and burns good. And that's my biggest thing is it's got to be seasoned, it's got to be dry, and the looks, that's like on the back burner as far as I'm concerned. You know, I might have to get into trying to find some better looking wood. I mean, my business, it's up and down. Some days I'm selling, you know, 8-10 bundles a day. I'm making deliveries. That's what I do too, is I deliver. I offer a delivery service, and I don't see any other people in my area that do that. So I thought that would be a nice perk, is to offer delivery. So that seems to help out. But anyway, I'm just trying to find some pieces that will fill in the gaps here, and we'll go from there. But I think we're good to go. Like this piece right here, most guys wouldn't use it, but I do. You know, I'll find a spot for it. It's not going to work there, but we'll put it in there somewhere in another bundle, and I'm going to use it. So right there, that looks pretty good to me. I usually try to stay around 10 to 13 pieces of wood. I probably could get a few more in there, but just for the sake of this video, I want to kind of just stop right here and show you how this process works. But See, this is where, you know, everything is, this is different than your motorized ones. I mean, I guess it's not really different. It's kind of the same because you got to start your stretch wrap like so. You know, with the motorized ones, you get to this point, you push a button. With this one, you turn a crank. You know, the speed is, I guess it's relative to how fast you want to crank. And I can go pretty quick. I can probably go just as fast as any motorized one out there. But, you know, I know a lot of those manufacturers, they brag on how fast it is. And, you know, I get that. That's nice for efficiency. But I can crank this just about as fast as a motorized one. And there you go. I mean, that's a nice tight bundle. And it didn't take me very long at all. So that's your basic operation of all bundlers, except for that bucket style like I showed you. This is the basic operation of a bundler and how they work. Let's get into some more details. All right, guys, please stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you my version of the perfect firewood splitter and bundler combination. Please stay tuned. All right, guys, well, that's your basic dummied down version of how these bundlers work. And like I said, I'm not going to get into the bucket style. That's a whole nother animal, but basically this is how a bundler works, from your manual ones like the Amish bundler, which is what I have, all the way up to your motorized style ones, which Easton Made just came out with a nice, really nice motorized, it's electric, motorized style, and very nice. I mean, very pricey, very nice, but basically it's the same operation as this. The stretch wrap goes around your bundle. And the way I see it is, the problem with these bundlers is the loading of this box. That's where the log jam is. And I don't know, it just seems to me that maybe these manufacturers could look into ways of improving that. And I don't know how they do it, because, I mean, you got to manually load the wood in here somehow, or into something like this. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how that could be done, but I think that's where these manufacturers need to start to look, is to really improve upon a bundler. They need to start looking at this process of loading the wood, because that's where the time effort is, and that's, you know, for me, it don't matter, because I'm just a one-man show here, and that time doesn't matter to me. But if somebody has a really strong business, bundle firewood business, and they want to crank it out, to me that would be a problem right here. Some thoughts I have on it is, you know, if you have your vertical style splitter, which is ideal for a bundle firewood business, and I highly recommend getting one. I wish I had one. But you know, if there was like a removable basket for these bundlers, this style bundler, that you could, when you're splitting your wood on your vertical splitter, you could just put that wood in a basket that's shaped something like this box right here, and then you could stack the basket in a tote or stack it somewhere in your shop, and then when you get to the point where you need to bundle, you just place that basket in something like this and just keep switching them out. It's just a thought. I don't know if that's possible, but that seems like that might be an option that manufacturers could look into doing, as a replaceable basket, because that's where, if you're doing it by yourself, this is where the problem lies with these bundlers. And it's across the board with all of them. From this one all the way up to the Easton Made one that just came out. It's the same process. I can't think of the guy's name from Easton Made offhand, but he just put a video out. It's called the Woodmaster Bundler. And I mean, he's loading it the same way I load this basket. $800 bundler versus a pricey bundler. It's the same thing. And I get it. It's, you know, it's try to improve upon, you know, mousetrap. I guess you building a better mousetrap. I don't know, but to me, it seems like this is where the manufacturers need to focus on this part of the process of bundling. And my thought is a replaceable, removable basket. And you know, you'd have to purchase the baskets and have quite a few on hand. But once you buy them, you're done, basically. Or maybe somebody could build one. Maybe a private individual could make one himself, and maybe that's something I'll do. I don't know. But to me, it seems like that's the problem area, is loading the wood into the bundler, and you know, the wrapping, that's nothing. Cutting the stretch wrap, taking the bundle off is quick. Loading the bundler is where the problem area lies. And I'd like to see the manufacturers focus on speeding that process up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have any thoughts on that? What would be a better way of speeding that process up? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You know, one problem area though with that basket, replacement basket like I was describing, is the stretch wrap. And you'd have to have an open center basket to mount and replace, you know, with this one. So, you know, I don't know if that's doable, but, you know, maybe, I think there is something out there. I think some manufacturers have a sleeve that you just load up the sleeve and you put it in your frame, and then it just slides out the bottom. So, you know, that's an option. You know, you'd have to buy a bunch of those sleeves and, you know, stack up your wood in the sleeve and then stack that into a tote or into your shop to speed up the process of loading the basket. I don't know, just a thought. And, you know, maybe the manufacturers could offer that when you buy a bundler. And yeah, you'd have to buy a few, I know that, but once you buy them, you have them, and you know, then you're done. But I think that's about the only way you really can improve upon something like this. But again, I'm challenging all manufacturers to try to come up with something better than this. Works good, but loading it is where the time is. And you know, you got to jockey your wood around to get it to fit in just right. Whereas if that was already done ahead of time, you could plop your bundle wood in here, pull your sleeve out, and go. And you could get a lot done. But that's probably the best route, is some kind of a sleeve that would go in there and remove that, because it's not going to work any other way. So again, I'm challenging the manufacturers to come up with something a little better, and we'll see. You know, maybe there's something out there they're working on right now, but I haven't seen anything yet that really impresses me. And the price that you pay for some of these bundlers is, I mean, they should be a little more automated. This one here, being $800, I don't expect it to be any more automated than what it is. But when you get into the thousands, I expect them to be a little more automated. And maybe we'll see. But all right, guys, well, that's going to do it for today. All right, guys, well, that was just some thoughts on improving the bundling process as far as loading the basket. Just some thoughts I had about improving that process, and I think some of them will work. I think that sleeve that you put in here, that has been proven to work, because I know there's some manufacturers out there that offer that sleeve. But are you really going to go out and buy 100 or 200 of those and stack them up to let them dry and then bundle? Yeah, you could do that. But I don't know that that's feasible for a lot of us. I think that would really speed up the process, but ideally, you know, who's going to really do that? So what I think will work, and bear with me here, is the manufacturers really need to focus on consolidating all these pieces of equipment into one. And by that I mean, take your vertical splitters, okay? And then maybe attach the bundler right to that on like one of the side tables. Now, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think this will work if these manufacturers want to put the time and effort into doing this. You know, you got your table, you got your splitter, where you're splitting your wood vertically, and then say off to the left or right, you'd have a bundler. Now, you don't want to bundle green wood with stretch wrap. As far as I know, I don't think that's a good idea. So you'd have to have the bag style bundler, maybe something like that, right on the table. Or I was thinking of some kind of a band that they could use, like two bands that would go around the bundle, an automatic bander on the table next to the splitter. That way you could just split your bundle wood, stack it in your bundling station, push a button, and it would band it. Or it would be a bucket, something like the Wolf Ridge style bucket. Put your wood in the bucket, tip it into a bag, and you're done. I could see something like that working. An all-in-one station where you just split and bundle at the same time. Now, I think you can put green wood in those bags. I think it'll dry inside one of those, but the stretch wrap, I don't think you want to stretch wrap green wood. But the banding would work, the bags would work. So those are some thoughts on how I see a bundling process, you know, being much more efficient in a one-man operation. So that's where I would challenge these manufacturers to come up with something like that. And you could even add a conveyor to it somehow. I think that would work. So this is where, like I said, I'd like to see these manufacturers focus on something like that. So what do you guys think? Would that work? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, or is this like way too harebrained of an idea? But I don't know. I think it's a good idea. So let me know in the comments, guys. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this. Please subscribe. Remember now, I've changed my name to Mercury Man Garage and Outdoors to cover all the content that I like to do. So please subscribe, give me a like, and leave a comment. All right, have a good one, guys.